Toon Jam. Toon Jam. Hello and welcome to Toon Jam. I am Matt.
And I'm J-Matt.
And you have joined us for another fun-filled episode. And today, that was really, sorry, I feel like I really lowered the fun by saying it was fun.
You've joined us for a fun-filled episode. It's
Very
fun to say, guys.
Sorry about
how much fun we're gonna have.
Let me redo that. You've joined us for another fun-filled. Oh boy! Yes, bursting. Wander over yonder. That's what we're doing. That's what we're talking about. I hope you're ready. This was another recommendation from our pal Ovens.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that. It came from they were watching one of our old episodes over on YouTube where we covered Spawn, and it was all to do with the way we kept saying Wanda,
Wanda,
Wanda. And then it inspired another episode. I believe there was also a mention of doing another episode of Spawn, and the only reason I want to say we're not going to do that is because we have already actually seen quite a few episodes of it. So we could do it, but you're going to get the same outcome. And that's what I don't want you to just have to, as a fan of Spawn, sit through us moaning about Spawn again.
Yeah.
It's not fair on you. It's probably what we deserve, but it's not fair on you. So we'll do Wander Over Yonder. We'll talk about that though. Let me tell you a bit about Wander Over Yonder if you've not heard of it before, or if you have, here's a bit of background information anyway. Wander Over Yonder is an American animated television series that aired on Disney Channel and Disney XD, created by Craig McCracken. Also did Powerpuff Girls.
Buster's Home, Kid Cosmic.
Yeah, Kid Cosmic, that was the one. We did that not too long. Well, I say not too long ago. It's probably a while ago now, but
yeah,
we did that. So familiar. It follows the adventures of the optimistic Wanda, who rides across the galaxy to help the inhabitants of various planets live freely. What? To help the inhabitants of various planets live freely, apologies, against the intentions of Lord Hater to rule the universe. The series premiered on Disney Channel on August 16th, 2013. New episodes were moved during its first season to Disney XD on March 31st, 2014. The series ran for 2 seasons until its cancellation in 2016. There are a total of 43 episodes or 79 segments, because they are sort of those classic 2-part episodes. Craig McCracken previously helmed the Cartoon Network series Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Wander Over Yonder is McCracken's first and only foray in Disney on a Disney-owned network. McCracken's wife, Lauren Faust, served as co-producer and story editor for the first season. The eponymous character made his debut on sketchbooks, clothes and patches that McCracken sold at conventions, as well as in a never-finished graphic novel.
Oh.
Pretty interesting. McCracken described Wanda as a nomadic, hippie Muppet man. He also said that his approach to each episode was, character-driven, and that show's use of colour is influenced by Hanna-Barbera.
Oh.
Going back to my 30-year theory at the time. We'll discuss that more later. The series made its formal premiere on Disney Channel on September 13th, 2013. A sneak peek was screened at 2012 San Diego Comic-Con International. An early preview of the episode, The Picnic, which is one of the 2 segments we watched, was aired on the network on August 16th, 2013, following the premiere of Phineas and Ferb Mission Marvel. Premieres of the new episodes were moved to sister network Disney XD during its first season. Shortly after, Disney Television Animation executive Eric Coleman announced that the series was renewed for a second season, with comic book writer N.D. Stevens joining the writing team. The season premiered on August 3rd, 2015, with The Great Hater on a special half-hour episode. A set of 11 one-minute shorts were produced in promotion of the season premiere. The network released them during July. Internationally, Wander Over Yonder made its premiere on Family Channel in Canada, on Disney XD in Australia, and Disney Channel in Israel, and on Disney XD in the UK and Ireland. The previewed episode was seen at roughly 2.9 by 2.9 million viewers, should I say. The AV Club's Kevin McFarlane wrote that the series continues the zany legacy of Cartoon Network's golden age on a competing network. Emily Ashby of Common Sense Media describes the series as flash and funny, stating it would appeal to kids. She also argued it's a series that generates laughs in opposing personalities, non-stop action, and silly scenarios. So there you go. That's a bit of information about Wander Over Yonder. Have you ever watched it before?
I think maybe I'd seen like bits and pieces of it. Like I remember the look of the character. I definitely seen Wander about, but like I can't remember sitting down to watch it like properly. But maybe I've overseen bits and pieces. But that's about it. And yeah, unfortunately, never really sat down for a dedicated Wander Over Yonder hour or anything. So
yeah. Well, this was entirely new to me. Absolutely fresh, not seen it before. Somehow flew under the radar. It's in those lost years, I think.
Yeah.
Those prime years where, I was a teenager trying to be cool.
Oh yeah, too cool for Disney XD.
Yeah. What's going on here? To be fair, I wouldn't have even been a teenager. That I've got 10 years out on this.
Yeah.
So I would have been in my 20s.
There you go. Way too cool for Disney.
Way too cool. Hadn't made my way back just yet.
No.
And it ended a couple of years before we started this. So
yeah.
Crazy days. Okay, well, ratings. Rotten Tomatoes, there's nothing on there. We can only assume 100%.
Yeah, it's going to have to be, yeah.
So there you go. Well done on that one. But of course, IMDb does have a rating, and 4.2 thousand people have rated it. What is your guess?
I say 7.6 on that one.
You're not far off. It's 7.2.
Oh, yeah. That's not too bad.
There you go. Interestingly, of all of McCracken's shows, this is the lowest rating.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's only 4 shows. And that's still quite a good score, I would say.
Yeah.
But can you guess what the third lowest rating one is?
So the next one up.
Yeah, so this is like second to last, but out of 4.
Yeah. Is it Foster's Home?
It's Powerpuff Girls.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
That's so weird.
Then Foster's Home, and then Kid Cosmic.
Kid Cosmic's at the top.
Right at the top.
How bizarre. I'd have never guessed that.
Maybe it's time, just how long it's been out.
Yeah. But
yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
That is a strange. I could have not predicted that.
Yeah. Sad fact. It's not no
saddest of facts. You're in Toon, Jeff.
Powerpuff Girls. Come on.
What are they playing now?
Right, okay. Well, what about Twitter? What's Twitter got to say about Wander Over Yonder? Does it remember it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people having flashbacks, apparently. We've got Funny Wes, who says, every couple of months I miss Wander Over Yonder. It has been 6 years.
Oh, counting down the years
Yeah,
of life without Wander Over Yonder.
tragedy. Just
Sounds like they have like a shrine that
yeah.
they pay a visit to
Mhm.
every month.
Hi Yonder, it's me again.
We've all been there, though. We've all got that show, haven't we? That,
Yeah, that's it.
you know,
Yeah.
life is just not the same without.
No. So big fan there. Big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
We've got Religion of Wumbo, who says, everyone talking about the Amphibia finale. Meanwhile, my country is finally going to watch Wander Over Yonder this week.
Do we know what country
So,
that is?
I think it may be Poland, so it's somewhere around there, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Eastern
that's
European.
pretty interesting that they're that far behind.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, be interesting to know how it fares there.
Yeah.
Finally on the Wander Over Yonder train.
Yeah, it's
6
something to
years
do with.
later.
Yeah, that's a real real time lapse.
And that just shows, as one person mourns its loss, another sees its birth.
That's it.
Incredible.
Yeah, you don't really think of it like that, do you? You think it's just, when it officially ends, that's it for everyone, But then there's obviously like a big gap depending on where you are and stuff. So, well, yeah, hopefully they enjoy it. Yeah, hopefully they enjoy it. We've got Jello X, who says, the Wander Over Yonder intro theme goes so hard for absolutely no reason at all.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's what I would describe as extra.
Yeah.
But fitting with the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it definitely sets the tone, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That whole theme of no reason at all, but kind of fits in a way.
Yeah. And then, well, related to that, really, you've got Tramshbo, and that's how I'm saying your name, who says, just came across a TikTok using the Wander Over Yonder song, and I'm currently having flashbacks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty, I want to say memorable, but more just repetitive.
It's like super catchy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like straight, constant. It's like a barrage that your brain can't, it's like, even if I'm not catchy, I am, that kind of thing. Which, like I say, is pretty much the main character in a nutshell.
Yeah. It's as if it was written by them. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that like it's now some sort of TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Using the theme, which is weird. So it gets a second life as so random people can dance to it. I guess probably. Yeah, I mean maybe that's what Craig McCracken envisioned all along.
Yeah,
playing the long game. And then finally we've got Bungle Dungle, which is a cool name, who says, Wander Over Yonder, still the goat.
Still the goat.
Still the goat. So
still loving it.
Yeah. Can't,
That's high praise.
That is, yeah. Every time we get a goat on here, it's the best.
Very high praise.
Yeah, no, none of them can beat it.
Yeah. So, I mean, except unless you look at the list on the ratings on IMDb, then
obviously, IMDb says otherwise.
But that's what opinions are all about. I mean, I don't agree with the Powerpuff Girls being third place. I still can't understand that, but
No. It's a strange place, IMDb. Very strange place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's Twitter.
That's Twitter. Yeah. So a lot of fans.
Yeah, positive vibes.
All positive. Yeah.
Nothing bad to say about it.
No, there's a lot of fan art on there as well. If you like the characters. You didn't find anything dodgy this time either, so it's
that's always good. Yeah. So it's a safe search.
Yeah, it's a safe search. It's a Google safe search.
Yeah. But there you go. I mean, it's an interesting one. It's the first thing I kind of will say about it is it is kid friendly.
Yeah.
Which I suppose you kind of expect from a Disney show.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's aimed at kids as well.
Yeah.
It's not like preschool, but it feels like it's aimed at an audience, especially kids in that era, I suppose. It does feel of the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's got it's got kind of a timestamp to it in the way that it is.
The teen years era, with that extra sort of humour and just non-stop. The fact that the villain's called Lord Hater.
Yeah, that says something. And there was a character called, like, what was he, like Captain Awesome or something?
Yeah. It's just like, this will become like a time capsule, I think. One of those shows where if you've never seen it, especially, someone will watch it in 20, 30 years' time and be like, oh my days, this proper reminds me of those days.
Yeah, I've seen this type of thing in the archive.
Yeah. And as well, it adheres to the 30-year rule. Now, I said this before. Anyone that's new to the show might be like, what's he on about? Anyone that's not new to the show will be like, not again.
Too bad.
Too bad, you're going to hear it. Essentially, fashion, style, atmosphere is a 30-year wheel. So everything you see is in the style of 30 years before it, but with modern additions built on almost on the previous 30 years. It's such a strange thing. But this has a late 70s, early 80s look. 2013, 30 years before. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does work. It
does work. Early 80s.
The 30-year rule. We've seen it so many times in the And
I might pose a challenge to our listeners. Chuck me something that you think is not the 30-year rule. We'll see if we can prove or disprove it. What you saying?
Yeah. This is this may become its own conspiracy theory, like, YouTube section.
Yeah.
Like the 30-year rule.
This is going to be the thing that makes us.
Yeah.
This is going to be the Toon Jam theory.
Yeah. Move away, lizard people. It's the 30-year rule now.
And we've done over 200 episodes now. Right. So we've watched over 200 cartoons.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy, actually. Just to take a moment to think about that. But we're seeing the proof all the time. We've got the chops now to say it's true. Let's prove it. Let's do it.
This is it. Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Why not take it to the next level?
But yeah, Wonder Over Yonder definitely has that sort of, I would say, early 80s feel to it. All it's missing is New York.
Oh man, yeah, 80s New York. It's with Spawn coming back around again.
Oh boy. But yeah, going back into actually the episode, did you get on with sort of the humor? Did you find it appealed to you as well, or do you still think, or do you also think that this is kind of a mainly for kids kind of show?
I actually it took me a few minutes to settle into it, but then I actually got on board with it pretty quick. I think that was largely helped by the fact that the main character was voiced by Jack McBrayer. He's so perfect for that type of role where it's just like the lovable idiot. It's like you can't help but and he's so irritating as a character. Like that's kind of what the first episode's all about. It's just like how irritating he is. but like you can't help but just be like, yeah, but you know, he means well. He's just trying to be nice.
Well, and we've seen it before. It's such a common character, isn't it? Really, pick as I mean, you know, all the characters you'll see in every other show, but it always seems weird to me when you pick the annoying character as the main character.
Yeah.
But then when it works, it really does work.
It really does work, yeah.
Especially in sort of the first segment. I think of the two, that was probably the stronger one because the concept was a bit more original.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's essentially it's just him. I mean, it's like he's annoying the villain.
Yeah.
Of the piece. He's not really involved in the conflict.
No, he just kind of comes in and interrupts like this huge battle.
Yeah, and it's just such a good idea that rather than him, you know, being, you know, them, you know, being at loggerheads sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's just sort of on the sidelines and kind of saves the day without really.
Without trying. Yeah.
Yeah, like all he's trying to do is have a picnic. And this other guy's like in a full-blown war.
Yeah, it was really fun concept-wise. Just like it's a nice fun spin on the over-the-top battle scenario. Just coming in and really adding some annoyance to the mix, but like in the nicest way.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, does anyone want a sandwich? You know, that type of thing.
And that's the thing. It wasn't like, you know, like he was just annoying. I think whereas in the second segment was a bit more, we've seen it a million times. It's an old story. It's like you've heard folklore stories and nursery rhymes with the same story where you know he keeps helping people, which seems annoying, but then at the end they all help him.
It's pretty standard. But I did like that it kind of continued from the last episode in a way that was kind of notable when you watch them side by side. In that, he was up. The last guy was so annoyed at him, he sent his troops after him to capture him. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're literally wanted, aren't they, for being and like annoying him.
Yeah. So I thought that was quite cool. But I did like pretty much all the characters though. Like, you know, everyone had something kind of unique about them, and they were all quite notable. And I think even people who had very little amounts of screen time was still quite fun. Like there was just like the odd, you know, weird character that popped up that just made me laugh or whatever.
Like the rock lady with her pebble babies.
Yeah, that was really funny. And the guy
I thought visually it was really cool. I thought the characters were really good. The environments were probably a bit basic, to a point where, especially in the second one, you kind of noticed it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just felt like they were on a white screen. But in saying that, the planets in the first one, looked really cool, and like just really fit with the style. I just wish they'd done a bit more for the actual environments. Yeah. More than anything. But I mean, it's minor. It doesn't really matter too much. And the characters did look really cool. They were really imaginative, weren't they? Yeah. I think that's something that, you know, I guess that's kind of Craig McCracken's thing, is that he's good at doing, like, just making lots of weird and interesting characters and stuff. Yeah. And I think that it definitely follows through on this one. Because the second one was really about just introducing you to like a bizarre world of, you know, just crazy different creatures and stuff, and so that was fun, you know, and also ants as well, you know, just normal creatures, but with something. But you didn't really question why they were there, did you? Like, no, you know what's going on. You're just like, yeah, okay, cool, that's fine. Like anything goes, really. And there were, I did like the moments when, you know, the animation and stuff kind of went over the top, like when he's getting kind of antsy, like towards the end, where he needs to help people and stuff, and you get those moments where, like, you know, the shading kind of comes up, and you've got like the dramatic lighting and everything. Like, well, that was really fun to kind of contrast with the look and that. So I think, you know, there were little moments where they really kind of like
leaned into what they were doing and stuff. And I like the way that it looked in general. Really, it's kind of rough and clean at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. It's like very cartoony, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And like really extremely cartoony.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
it's what, and I think that's partially probably why I know as a kid I would have loved it.
yeah, yeah. Same
Just
here, I think.
because you just see it and you think like, I like that character, I like that character.
Mm.
That little eyeball is hilarious.
Yeah,
And just things like that. You just see everything and enjoy it. Which is a big part of, especially as a kid, I think, like looking back, like when we've watched loads of shows where we were like, I loved this as a kid, but it is actually hot trash.
yeah, yeah.
So it must have just been because it looked nice.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a formula, isn't it, for kids
Yeah.
stuff? It's like, yeah, just make it really colourful, and they'll love it. So, well,
Yeah.
that's like the only ingredient you ever need.
Yeah.
Uh, but obviously, there's people that do a bit more than that. So luckily, those people exist.
Yeah.
Um,
What I will say though is it doesn't at all feel like a Disney show.
hmm,
I don't know why. I don't know what that is. Like it's got it's got sort of the like base characters and things like that. It's not strange to find them on the Disney Channel storyline wise, but visually, I guess I think just the style. Maybe it's something that is associated like because of other shows, Powerpuff Girls and things like that.
yeah. It feels like because it's got that kind of look, you kind of
Yeah.
associate it with Cartoon Network, I'd say. Like, yeah.
But yeah, like it just feels. It doesn't feel like a Disney show. Maybe, and one thing I will say, it seems, I feel like if this came out now, it would probably be more popular.
Yeah.
So maybe those that are getting it, now will find it better. It feels ahead of its time to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Not necessarily visually before you get any 30 years rules breaking kind of thing. It could do with an update in that sense. I get it. But yeah, like concept and sort of story wise, I feel like it is ahead of its time. Like we've watched a few recently that are quite new, or at least within the last few years. And like they say, sort of that Amphibia and Owl House as well. This kind of fits in more with them, I think.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It's funny. People are, that there is that discourse on Twitter about, because obviously Disney's kind of dealing death blows to series and stuff that people are enjoying, and this is one that it didn't get its third season that everyone was looking forward to. So I think there's a lot of comparison between this and those. But I think as a network and stuff, you can only do it so many times before people kind of stop trusting you with
Yeah,
those shows.
yeah.
It's like, I really enjoyed that thing, and then you just stopped it, and now.
And it is heartbreaking, isn't it, when it happens?
Yeah.
Like, I was so into that. I remember big one for me was Young Justice when that ended.
Yeah.
Just being absolutely gutted. Obviously now it's carried on and that's great, but there are those shows that when you're really into them, it's just gutting when they cut them off before they're finished, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Particularly if they do have ongoing stories. I mean, this obviously doesn't, but it is upsetting, isn't it? Because you're like, I never got to know what happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Samurai Jack as a kid. That was. I feel like that's the first cartoon where that happened. Where you're just like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Doesn't he beat Aku?
You'll never know until
now.
Years later. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's just a lucky one that kind of slips through. Like they don't all get that treatment. But I really think they could bring this back now, and like you say, I think it'd do really well if they decided to give it a reboot now. Well, not a reboot, but just a continuation. Like,
just do season.
Finally, give it that third season, and
keep it on one channel.
Yeah.
Run it normally. Yeah, I think it would be popular now. I think it's definitely. It was ahead of its time. I do think. You would have to obviously update them to look more in tune with a 90s style,
Obviously, yeah.
naturally, but 10 years, no problem.
Was there anything you didn't get on with in particular?
Um, not so much. I think the background was one where I was like, sometimes they looked nice, but sometimes they were very like over bare.
Mm.
There was just not like there was just nothing in the background. But otherwise, no, I liked the characters. I liked sort of the way they played it out, particularly that first one. Like it was just a good concept. It just felt like, oh, this is clever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have, you just wouldn't have thought to do it like that. Yeah, I can't think of much that really bothered me. What about you?
No, I think I think like I say, I think I settled into it like really early on, like earlier than I thought I was going to. Really, like I did, yeah. Nothing really stands out. Like even the humor I kind of got on with, like for what it was. Yeah, there's nothing really rubbed me the wrong way. So yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's move on. Let's give our final reviews.
I've got it. I've written an epic theme song for the new show, for the Wander Over Yonder, and it's oh man, I've got so much stuff. We've got these crazy epic tale that we're telling through the lyrics, and then we've got a full orchestra. We've got with the choir, we've got a full choir. There's 50 people ready to just sing their hearts out to this absolutely epic tale that spans the universe. It's galaxy to galaxy, planet to planet, with all these crazy characters in. And yeah, I mean, I've written basically, it's like it's like the Bible here. You know what I mean? It's lyrically absolutely wow. It's
intense.
It's amazing. So I can start you off. It's it starts with like in the galaxy, in the galaxy amongst the stars, a little man goes really far, and he smiles, he laughs, he's a friendly fellow, but wait until the universe bellows, and then then we got a guitar solo, man, and that's like 5 minutes long, and it's crazy. We're hitting like notes that nobody's ever even thought about before.
Yeah. You know what? This is amazing. I love this. All of this. You know what? Yeah, everything you've just said. Can I change one little thing?
Okay. Yeah.
Don't mind. Don't want you to feel like you have to change it, but I just think this will work really, really well. So, where you've got that bit with the lyrics.
Yeah.
So what I would do, and they're great, by the way.
Thank you.
Obviously, we want the title straight off the bat.
Okay. Yeah.
And we want it to be catchy. Mm-hmm. Words easily remembered. So, obviously, Wander Over Yonder.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be in there. It's a great rhyme. People like rhymes.
Yeah. No.
And you've got rhymes. They're great.
Yeah.
But this is just. We worked a lot on this title, so we want it in there. And then we can sort of say wander over yonder.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking before that maybe, so just so people can sing along, because sometimes when you sing a song and you don't you kind of know the words, you don't know the words. Well, I'm thinking, if you just sing you do do.
Yeah. Okay.
Then anyone can remember that.
Right. Okay.
Right? And this is for everyone. So
right.
I'm thinking. So here's the lyrics. I'm thinking just straight off the bat. You doodaloo, you doodaloo.
Okay.
So do that twice. Wander over yonder.
Are those words? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
we start off then, and then we go into the solo.
Yeah, and then we do. Well, we do that again. So you doodaloo, doodaloo.
Do yeah.
Wander over yonder. Twice.
Okay.
And then we hit sort of a real extra burst, because that's already a burst.
Yeah.
And that's when we include some of the stuff you were saying, which was like words as well, but slightly tweak them again.
Okay.
So the lyrics you use, but slightly tweaked. So I would just put wander, 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 yonder, wander, yonder. Like that, yeah?
Okay.
Because that's just so fun. Wander, 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 yonder, wander, yonder, wander. Like it just keep mixing it up. And kids
Okay.
will love that because they'll be like, way, yeah, wander, wander, yonder, wander, whoa. And it doesn't matter which they say because it's kind of still in it and they'll remember it.
Right. Okay.
That's great. You've done really well there. That's really good.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'll get rid of we'll clear the other stuff out. So you want it to go. So I wrote that down there, the edit.
Don't clear it. We just tweaked it. That's all. It's not clear. It's tweaked.
Yeah. Okay. So the tweak now, it's like it's just wander over yonder, wander over yonder.
Yeah.
Wander over yonder, wander over yonder.
No. Just that lip is so wander, 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 yonder, wander, yonder.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
wander,
you don't need off in that bend.
Wander over yonder, and that's what you want.
Yeah, and then repeat that a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. So I love all that. We can keep that in, but kindly, if we kind of just change, maybe tone down a little bit. Just a little bit to go more with the lyrics because we kind of just toned that down a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe just the choir, again, we keep it, but if we just get rid of some of the singers in the choir.
Okay.
How many are there?
50. We got 50.
Okay, yeah. So if we just tone that down to 1.
Okay.
And then we use that same one member of the choir to sing the lyrics.
Right.
So it's still a choir, but it's just.
Well, I don't know if. Okay. Yeah.
So we did that, and then the guitar and the orchestra. Maybe just tone that down to sort of a keyboard or a whistle or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, perfect. That you've done such a good job with this. This is great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so here at Toon Jam, we have a 3-point rating system that goes as follows. Thumbs up. A show ending here is being born somewhere else.
Yeah.
About that. Thumbs down. Powerpuff Girls at number 3.
What is that all about?
Come on. No jokes. And shaky middle. The theme tune for this show. Not sure how I feel about it, but hey ho. Okay, so yeah, good, bad. Unsure. In the middle, meh. Essentially. So, Wander Over Yonder. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, after you've had that theme tune, I think your heart is pumping a little bit anyway. So you go in. You go in like on a high, it's high arousal state, and I think that first episode I think is definitely like what I like to see in a pilot, in that introduction to the show, because it was a clever, it was a fun concept. It was something you'd kind of seen before, but like not in this particular way, and it was a really cool way to introduce the character. I think they've really got that character, nailed down. Like it may not be entirely original, but I think they've really leaned into what he's about, and he is like weirdly lovable despite him being an annoyance. But he's so nice, and like that was such a cool scenario for him to be placed into. And then on top of that, I really liked all of the the character designs. Like everyone had something fun about them, from the main sort of like the main bad guys to the heroes to like just the minions and stuff. Well, everyone seemed cool. Everyone had like a cool voice and a fun personality. I think it's just something you could easily kind of get on board with. There wasn't any sort of like adjustment period needed. It was very much. It was fun. It was a fun show. It looked nice. It sounded fun, and I think there wasn't anything that really sort of like sent me thinking like, I wasn't a really big fan of that. So yeah, I think I would, especially if I was younger, I definitely sit down and watch some more of this. This is something I could get on with. So yeah, I think for me it's going to have to be a thumbs up for Wonder Over Yonder.
All right. There we go. Okay, yeah, so nice thumbs up there, back on top after a previous destruction. I'm inclined to agree. I think it wasn't by any stretch the best thing I've ever watched. And it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't even middle of the road. It was good. It was just a solid good. It was funny enough. Like you say, it was good voice acting, nice animation, nice art style. It was just a little bit out of time for itself, I think, which is a bit of a shame for this show. But yeah, I think the humour, there was bits that made me laugh, but it didn't really make me, belly laugh or anything like that. But I think if I was younger, it would have done. I think it would have been spot on.
Yeah.
If I was sort of in, as a kid, and again, not preschool, but a kid, I'd have loved this. I love the look of it and the style and like you say, the characters. I've not really got anything bad to say about it. So yeah, I'd have to give it a thumbs up.
Well.
So there you go, 2 thumbs up. Back on fresh form.
Yeah.
So there we go. But what did you think at home? Did you agree with us? Do you think Wander Over Yonder is one of the best shows ever, as many do on Twitter? Or did you think that, it's a pile of jokes? Big old pile of rubbish.
Huge pile of jokes.
You let us know, and you can do so on the 3 Lord Haters of the internet, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ToonJamPod. If you want to catch some of our old episodes that aren't on this feed, well, you can do so over on YouTube. Again, you'll find us Toon Jam Pod. Search that up and you'll see all of our backlog of hundreds of episodes on there. Or if you want some extra bonus material, you've listened to everything we've done and you want more, then we do have a Patreon. So check that out. Look for Toon Jam Pod. You'll find us. Otherwise, I guess all that's left to say is thank you for listening. Until next time, you stay jammy.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening. If you want to help the show keep going, you can be extra jammy by heading over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/toonjampod. Here you can get a shout out on the show or unlock bonus episodes. Ratings and reviews anywhere you listen to the podcast also really help us out. So thank you. And stay jammy.